I always admired Ianis's braggadocio. His braggadocio. He scored the 2 goals against Braga when his first goal was against Hibs. His first goal was a winner, 5 minutes for the end in a midweek league game against Hibs when he get brought in by Steven Gerrard's, what would that be, 2019-20 season, the winter of 2019-20. And then his dad turns up, his famous dad, Jorge Hagi. His dad's up in the main stand that night against Braga. We're trailing 2-0 in the first leg of a last 32 match in the Europa League. Looks like we're going to get done. And Ianis Hagi and Joe Aribo played an amazing part that night as well, but he gets the 2 goals. He win 3-2. He missed a penalty in the return leg. People forget, but Ryan Kent scoring the only goal of the game in Braga, and that one, the first time we put Braga out of the Europa League. And that was him announcing himself, Ianis Hagi. He was sensational through 55, invaluable through 2020-2021 season. I think about 8 goals, maybe just in the league alone, or total. Anyway, a few assists as well. He seemed to score. There was at least one game where he scored the only goal of the game in that 55 season. It was a kind of January time, a really stodgy, horrible game against Hibs, where it was just at that period where if we slipped up, there could be doubts about our ability to win the league, but if we kept going, we'd win it at a canter, and he pushed us over the edge. Did he score in that 3-0 win over St Mirren as well? The day before we officially lifted the title, or secured the title with Celtic slipping up at Tannadice. I think he might have done. He was immense in that season. He got a terrible injury against Stirling Albion. He wasn't the fastest of players to start with, but then he gets the injury against Stirling Albion, and that's him out for a while. And then when he comes back, he scored a goal against Hibs at Easter Road in his comeback, and he was crying his eyes out. He was so delighted. He just gives it everything, Ianis Hagi. An honest pro. His agent might not be so honest, so we ended up having this little dispute with him. As a club, there's a little dispute between Ianis and his agent, so he was locked out of the team at the beginning of this season, but he comes back in, they get that resolved. He comes back in against St Johnstone and gets himself sent off, comes on as a sub and gets sent off straight away because he's so keen, and he's just been crying in the tunnel with frustration because he's waited so long to get a game. A hero in Romania. Just sign for Galatasaray already, Ianis. Just sign for Galatasaray. Do it. Your dad's a legend there. You were born in Istanbul. Just go and sign for Galatasaray. It's, even as a trialist, just to see the place go absolutely crazy. I want that for you, mate, because you absolutely gave us everything you could when you were here. He scores the opener in their first win over Celtic in far too long, back in January. He scored the opening goal that day. That made my new year, Ianis. And goes off. He gets injured. His last game for Rangers is he comes on as a sub, then goes off again after being fouled in the Celtic box by the Celtic captain. Should have been a penalty to us that would have let us win that Old Firm game. But yeah, Ianis, his time